So we are back for another episode of the Building Holy Families podcast. And today, the quest that I have before us is to answer this question. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Parents might ask themselves this question whether their kids are just growing up, or maybe the kids are older and they just want to have a restart and they want to know, okay, if we are meant to get to heaven, and if I have the responsibility as mom and dad to help my kids get to heaven, and if I realize maybe later in life, gosh, I didn't really do a good job and I want to start now, no matter how old your kid is, where do I begin? Where do I begin? The answer to this question is actually much simpler than you think, but it's harder than you think it is. There are many options of where to begin. Teaching your kids how to pray, living the Catholic life as a family, that's all and good. Baptizing your kid, having all these different things that we know in our Catholic faith we need to do. But first, here's kind of a stepping back type of answer, which I want all of us who have that responsibility of sharing the faith and building holy families, we need to have very clear. And it's this principle: you cannot give what you don't have. We cannot give what we don't have. In a sense, if I myself have not begun the journey of faith, and if I myself have not begun the journey of grace and of this deep relationship with God, in my journey towards heaven, towards sanctity, how can I imagine doing that for my kid or guiding my son or daughter or my spouse? Right? It's like, as they say, like the blind guiding the blind. I think at some point we need to take a step back and ask ourselves, me, as a son or daughter of God, am I on the right path? Am I actually working on my own soul to get better, to get to heaven? Because if not, who am I to guide my children? Who am I to guide my spouse? And so the answer to the question, where do I begin? It begins here. It begins with my own personal journey. And I have three ways for us to actually start that journey if you haven't started already. The first is constancy, a constant prayer life. Whether it's just your Sunday Mass and maybe some prayers during the week, but constancy. It's a journey requires movement. It requires making those steps. And if I'm not making those steps, if I'm not moving forward, if there's no constant progress or journey, then I'm not getting anywhere, right? So constancy. What are the things I can do during my week that I can actually say I do have a constant prayer life? The second, relationship with God, with Jesus Christ. And that's through the sacraments, first and foremost, right? Mass, confession, but also a deep prayer life. Do I have moments during the day or during the week where I can say, I actually took time to listen to God, whether it's reflecting the Word of God through the Gospels, through the Bible, or just moments of processing each night, right? There's a famous examen prayer, right? If you want to go and Google that or search that, the examen prayer is huge. It's a moment where you can just process your own life in the light of God's life in yours. So constancy, relationship. Third is commitment. Are there things in my life, in my faith, that I am kind of like being halfway or kind of being mediocre in, and I just need to say, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to pray this way. I'm going to start living a better life of virtue and grace. There's so many other things in our life that we can do and start doing and start living, right? But we need to start. We need to start somewhere. We don't start by telling our kids what to do if we ourselves don't have that. All of the parents that send their kids to camps and retreats and youth groups and stuff, do you, mom and dad, also have your moments of retreat? Do you, mom or dad, have your own spiritual group of friends that you can be nourished together? We can't expect our kids to be saints if we ourselves don't make that journey, right? So where to begin? Begin in the heart, all right? So that's a challenge for this week. Think about that, live that, and start that journey. And if you are on that journey, keep going. Because really, at the end of the day, we need to have our hearts filled. We need to have our souls filled if we are going to help others, and especially our own families, fill their hearts with God's love and God's grace. So I'll leave that with you all this week. Pray for me and I pray for you. God bless you and have a wonderful week ahead.